So it's been a while since I did the last video, and mostly because we had a pretty good summer here in Switzerland, and I couldn't really be bothered to stay at home and shoot videos and upload them and all of that. But I thought I'll do another one because I wanted to show you this. This is a MoonSwatch Mission to Mercury, and I guess I'm not the only guy who saw this release and thought, hey, cool watch, but maybe it should be on a different strap. So I ended up buying one of these, what was it, like 2 months ago maybe. Couldn't be bothered to basically stand in line in the beginning or stand in line at all. And I jokingly say this basically saves me 30K plus because I always wanted to have one, an all black watch, two, a ceramic watch, and three, a basically beater watch, right? And so a beater watch could be, so 2 and 3 is basically the same as ceramic watch, which of course it can break, but it wouldn't scratch. And so that could be a Royal Oak offshore. Of course, that's not the same, but I think it's pretty cool to have a all black watch. And so what did I end up doing? I basically put this $250 watch on a $120 strap. And this is why I'll probably call this video For the Love of Chronographs, because I think there's a lot of people currently buying watches, expensive watches, and some of them do this because they really like the watch, the background, whatever, the wearing the watch, the experience. Others, they probably just buy it because of status. I guess that can be part of it, and that's fine, but they just basically buy it because that's the thing to do, and they neglect other things. Now again, here we can say, well, this is a hype watch as well, but I think, listen, you don't have to give this the same respect and attention as a haute horlogerie, watch, but at the same time, it's pretty cool, and either you like watches or you don't, and I think it really brings the Moonwatch and Omega, it makes it more accessible, and whether it's a good or bad thing, that's a different story. But for me, it was actually surprisingly a positive experience, because so far I don't own any Omega. I'm on the list since quite a while for the 321, and I'm not in no rush to buy it. And part of the reason I'm interested in that watch, because I never really liked the twisted locks of the professional Speedmaster, the Moonwatch. And also I thought I think 42 mil, this is probably way too big for me. And so when I bought that watch and I put it on my wrist, and just a second, so this is the standard strap that it comes on, and I'm jumping back and forth here a bit, but maybe going back to the strap. So when this watch came out, I thought, which one do I like best? Is it the Mercury? Is it the Moonwatch Mission to the Moon? And I guess a lot of people were hoping for an all black watch. And it was, the clear thing to do in my opinion. And I think they probably didn't do it for a reason. But I gotta say, so I was debating between this and the Moonwatch, the Mission to the Moon. And I ended up going for this because clearly this case is way closer to a black watch. And while this is actually better than I expected it to be, I don't really like this plastic, part where you basically loop the whole thing through. But I think, you can have this playful variation of a Moonwatch in almost every color. But I think the Mission to the Moon is supposed to resemble steel, and then that doesn't work, right? You can try to resemble black or dark gray or red or any other color, but trying to resemble steel through plastic or bioceramic, that's not going to work. But anyway, going off topic, so I bought this watch, put it on the wrist, and I thought, man, this is probably going to be way too big anyway, the traditional Speedy Professional. So, I should look at the 321, the Ed White, which has, 39.7 or whatever diameter. And then I put it on and was like, okay, this fits surprisingly well. Now, mind you, again, angle, cameras, what have you, will, give a different, perspective on things versus reality. But I can tell you it fits my wrist pretty nicely. And I was surprised how small it actually wears. I didn't research the watch too much, to be honest, so maybe I could have known that. But it's lock to lock, almost, I would say, identical to my Submariner, the pre-ceramic Submariner, reference 14060M. So it made me realize, hey, just in terms of size, I could probably also pull this off. Now, granted, it's not 100% accurate. I think thickness and maybe even luck to luck is slightly different, compared to the original, the true Moonwatch. But yeah, it's a nice way to experience the Moonwatch, I guess. And is it the best watch at this price point? Probably not. I'm not an expert in that segment, but I think in terms of quality control and finishing, etc., there's better stuff out there. But this is basically an Omega stamp approved interpretation of a Moonwatch, so a replica, so to say, playful replica. And for $250, I don't think it gets much better than that. So talking about the strap, so I decided I want to have an all black strap. I had certain basically requirements when it comes to the design of the strap, the way it's shaped, the loops that you have here, the holders. I wanted to have a black buckle, etc. And I looked basically all across the web, and I came to find this company called Bocane. You probably can't read it here. Bocane.com. They're funny enough based out of Romania. And I'm, can be skeptical, certainly can be picky, but those guys are pretty responsive. And I had a custom strap made there, and I'm super, super happy on what they did on their end, because, quality, the way it's manufactured is perfect. Cordura feels obviously just like Cordura. Two things I don't like. One is my F-up. My F-up is basically, I didn't think about thickness of the strap. So I think for this watch, it would look better on a thicker strap. Not sure they offer this. They probably do, I would assume. So if I would reorder another one, that's what I would do. I think if you look at the strap that the original Speedmaster comes on, the textile strap, the Hazelite version, it's thicker, it's kind of curved, whatever you want to call it. So that would be a better fit. The second thing is, if you do a custom strap, they have different size options. They always pair a short part of the strap with a long part of it. And I was also thinking of mixing it up, but then again, I thought, hey, they probably know what they're doing, so I'll go for whatever they recommend. Now, I would probably prefer the shorter part to be a bit longer than the standard configuration. And I can show you why. If I put it on my wrist again, because it's not perfect. It's in the second last hole, I think. Yeah. And I'll show you just a second. So you can see here, the good part is basically that this thing is not extending way beyond my wrist, right? But at the same time, this part is a bit short. So I would have preferred to, basically have these two loops a little bit more to the left, and I think I could achieve that if I would have chosen a shorter part of the strap, which is actually longer. So the long part being the same, but the shorter one being a bit longer, and then I would have I would probably end up with, not using this hole, but probably this one. But yeah, so that's that. Again, the thickness could look a bit better if it would be a thicker strap. Again, I'm not sure how it's going to look like on camera, but other than that, super happy. Again, if you go on the website, these straps, I think they start at $60-70. Now there's some options. So I went for the black buckle and the quick release spring bars. And then if you have a custom made, with shipping and stuff, you end up at 110, 120. So on the one hand, you could say it's crazy to put a $250 watch on a $120 strap. But at the same time, if this is what makes the watch work, then I would say go for it. And you can still use the strap, obviously, for some other models or watches that you have. So this is what I wanted to show you. That's the story. And yeah, it really made me reconsider the professional version of the Speed. Not something I need to get right away. But yeah, it's a cool thing. And let me know what you think. And if you have another option or any questions. And other than that, I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.